What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we got some more pickups to talk about. Quite a while since I've done a pickups video, if you don't count the Arrow sale video I did recently. But yeah, just got a few standout titles here that I picked up recently. Kicking off with a zombie trilogy that I'm really happy to actually get. I absolutely love the first movie in this trilogy. I know there's more than 3 in this franchise, but as far as I'm aware, the first 3 are the only ones you really should pay attention to, and that would be the Return of the Living Dead franchise. I love the first movie, one of my favourite zombie films ever. Eating brains relieves the pain of being dead. I absolutely love this movie. I think it's a great kind of spin on the zombie mythos. As far as I'm aware, it's the first zombie film to really introduce the whole need for brains. If I'm incorrect there, you can correct me in the comments. But yeah, Return of the Living Dead is one of my favourite horror comedies. Not really 2 genres that I feel kind of come together very well, but they seem to have mastered it with this film. Absolutely love it. One of my favourite 80s movies, and yeah, probably my favourite zombie film ever. That's Return of the Living Dead. Following that up, we of course, in sequence, have Return of the Living Dead Part 2. Now, I've not seen this one. So happy to get it on Blu-ray. This is the Scream Factory release. Didn't come in the slip, unfortunately, but I digress. I don't really care too much. It's the fact that I've got this, and I got it for a decent price as well, because when the Scream Factory stuff goes out of print, it skyrockets in price, you know, towards more like, you know, 50, 60, even to the 90 pounds price point. But I got this for £22, which I was pretty happy about. But yeah, not seeing this one. I've heard people enjoying this as much as the first one, and there's a few people on YouTube that I follow that actually prefer this over the original, so I'm looking forward to checking this out and making my own opinions on it. But yeah, probably one of my favorite zombie movie poster arts ever. Absolutely love that poster, that cover art there, absolutely fantastic. But yeah, that is Return of the Living Dead Part 2. We are still remaining to go in sequence, and obviously the last in this zombie trilogy is probably, you've already guessed what it is, Return of the Living Dead Part 3. This comes from Vestron Video, and yeah, a really nice release, UK release. Comes with a nice slipcover, and yeah, not seen this one either. This one has its fans as well, from what I'm aware. Apparently this trilogy is very, very highly regarded in the zombie fan community, and yeah, still looking forward to checking this one out. Yeah, just brains, more brains. Return of the Living Dead 3. So we continue the horror theme with this pickups video, and I picked up a film on the 88 Films Slasher Classics collection. Now, I've got to preface this, I've got to give a big shout out to Ryan of Let's Get Kicking Movies. He was selling a bunch of his some of his Blu-rays, especially titles on the slasher collection, and I saw this movie. I've been wanting to see this for a while. It's meant to be a really good slasher whodunit kind of movie, and I picked it up. He agreed to sell it to me for a really decent price, so big thanks to Ryan there. But the film I'm talking about is Alice, Sweet Alice. This is from the 70s, I believe. I believe it maybe predates Halloween at some point, I think. So I don't know whether you would call this a slasher, but it does say slasher classic, so it must be. But I think it's more so a whodunit, and it does sound really good. Looking forward to checking this out. I paid barely nothing for it, so thanks to Ryan again for letting me buy this off him for not much at all. So I really appreciate getting the chance to actually own this for a long while. So yeah, that is Alice, Sweet Alice. Next up, I have a couple of documentaries to talk about. You know, this has taken like almost 10 years to come to the UK. It comes from us from the 101 Films label, and that is the documentary Crystal Lake Memories, the complete history of Friday the 13th. Me and Soph recently watched both discs, both like basically all 8 hours of this documentary, and it is a uncompromising, brilliantly presented documentary of every movie in the franchise. It gives you really a deep dive into the production of each movie and what impact those films had. Yeah, just a great documentary overall. It makes me want to give the Friday the 13th films a marathon after watching this documentary. It kind of makes you realise, you know, how much you kind of appreciate these films more when you know the kind of effort and the work that goes into making these kind of movies. You probably think these are kind of throwaway films, you know, horror, slasher, you know, they're made on the cheap to make big bucks at the theatres. But when you watch this documentary, you see how much time and effort they really do pour into these films. You probably look at them with a different kind of light, and that's what definitely has happened for me. This was my favourite horror franchise anyway. It's even more my favourite horror franchise. So that is the documentary Crystal Lake Memories, the complete history of Friday the 13th. To follow that documentary up, I had to get the partnering kind of documentary. So to go next to Crystal Lake Memories, I picked up the 2-part documentary Never Sleep Again. This is the documentary regarding Nightmare on Elm Street. I've not watched this yet, so I can't really comment on the actual documentary itself, but it does come with 2 discs. You have Never Sleep Again, and then you have the I Am Nancy documentary as well. Not seen these before, so I'm not sure what to expect. I do know this is the proper full-on, full-fat documentary experience for these for this franchise, so I'm looking forward to delving into this at some point, and hopefully having the same effect that Crystal Lake gave me, where I've got more appreciation for these movies. But yeah, that is Never Sleep Again. Next up is quite a rarity on the Anchor Bay label.
Anchor Bay, baby.
You never see this in the wild, especially in this kind of condition. It's in absolutely wonderful condition. I picked it up in CEX with £12, and it is the Evil Dead trilogy on Anchor Bay. As far as I'm aware, you could correct me in the comments if I'm incorrect here, but in the UK at least, this is the only way to get Evil Dead 2 on the Anchor Bay label. You can get a standalone Evil Dead on Anchor Bay, and you can get a standalone Army of Darkness on Anchor Bay. This trilogy set is the only way you can get an Anchor Bay release of Evil Dead 2. But this is actually a glorious set. I absolutely love it, and to see it in this kind of condition in CEX and to pay very little for it, I was super impressed. So you've got Evil Dead 2, all sporting that glorious sailboat logo for Anchor Bay, and then you've got Army of Darkness, or it's actually called Evil Dead 3 on this label. Then you've got a bonus disc. Really impressed with this release. Comes with a little booklet as well. So yeah, couldn't believe it when I saw it. Had to grab it immediately, pretty much. So yeah, you know how I feel about this franchise. The first 2 films are great. Not a fan of Army of Darkness at all, but that's just me. But yeah, to find this on Anchor Bay for very little money in CEX was just awesome. Really happy about it. So that is the Evil Dead trilogy on Anchor Bay. Next up is the final pickup for this video. As you probably saw on my Arrow sale video, I picked up the bird with the crystal plumage on their 4K range in the limited set. I thought I'll take advantage of the sale again and just add the next one on that docket, and that would be Argento's Deep Red 4K limited set. Been after this for a while. I was kind of humming and ahhing about picking it up on the sale, but you know, I thought fuck it, I'll just do it, and I just pulled the trigger on it. Really happy to get this. Not seen this film yet, but I've heard nothing but just praise. And I know a lot of people that see this as Argento's best movie, so I'm looking forward to checking this out and seeing what it's all about. But yeah, it's just a beautiful set, as you get with Arrow. They've recently announced Tenebrae, Argento's Tenebrae as well, in this format, this beautiful kind of box set format, 4K format. So I'm getting that as well. I'm probably going to pick up Phenomena at some point as well in this format. So I'm looking to get the whole Argento treatment in the 4K range. So yeah, that is Deep Red. So that is it, guys. That is my pickups for this little video. Only a small kind of pickup today, nothing too insane, but I thought I'd just showcase these because I really am happy about picking these up. I'm so happy to have the Return of the Living Dead trilogy. The 2 documentaries are pretty cool to have, and that Deep Red set just looks beautiful. And of course, as I'm collecting Anchor Bay, the Evil Dead trilogy was a must buy. Let me know if you've got any of these titles in your own collections down in the comments below. And as always, guys, if you like what you see here and you want to see more, there probably is going to be another video popping up right about here. You know the drill by now, guys. Give it a click, give it a watch, give it a like, and maybe subscribe. As always, guys, I have been Jason. and I will see you next time.